Oh. Don't you ever wish you could watch anime without needing the English subtitles? Well, so did I, and that's why for the next 30 days I decided to challenge myself and learn as much Japanese as humanly possible. And by the end of those 30 days, I would not only watch anime without needing the English subtitles, but I would either make myself look like a fool to people who know Japanese or surprising them with the amount of knowledge that I just dumped in my head for the past 30 days. So learning a new language is hard on its own, but as it turns out, Japanese is one of the harder languages to learn. Hear me out. In the US, we have 26 alphabets to learn, and in Japan, we have 3 alphabet systems: Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. And to make things even worse, these characters are mixed up and used together in their daily lives. So that means more studying for me, right? Yay. So that's when I thought to myself, where do I begin? I figured I'd give my sister a call just because she had taken a Japanese class in college. According to her, in order to start learning Japanese, you need to start with the Genki textbooks. So that's exactly what I did. So after negotiating, she was kind enough to lend me the textbooks. So with everything I needed in the palm of my hand, I was ready to start learning and begin my 30-day challenge. So just like any other language, you have to learn your ABCs, and because Japanese has 3 of them, I started with Hiragana. So I decided to learn Hiragana from the chart that the book provided before I began any lesson. That way, I'm not only able to read the English parts, but I will also be able to understand the Japanese letters too. I was making good progress in the beginning, but things were starting to become difficult. I was learning the characters just fine, but whenever I would go back and review, I was having issues remembering them, and it didn't help that the textbook didn't have a sound feature, which is pretty funny because it's a book. No? You didn't get it? Okay, I'll leave. So that's when I happened to come across this website called Tofugu. I think that's how you pronounce it, where you could learn all the Hiragana and Katakana characters because it would give you the kana or the alphabet, and it would show you like a little small picture so you could remember. And with this new form of learning, things are going so smoothly, I figured I'd get down the basics within a week or so. Well, it's day 5 and I finally know how to read all the Hiragana characters. So if you were to tell me, or if you were to give me like a specific character, I would tell you what it is. So next is the Katakana. So at day 6, I didn't do anything productive to learn more Japanese. I usually study at least 1 hour a day, but I decided it was a good idea to watch anime like a degenerate like an anime fan would, you know, when there's new episodes. So it's day 12 and I finally understand Hiragana and Katakana, meaning that I can go on to the Genki textbooks, which I'm excited and scared for because I'm not good with textbooks. I don't know about you guys, but the school textbooks, I was never really good at that. I couldn't understand the textbooks in school, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to understand these textbooks. But we'll see what ends up happening. I was off to a good start, but learning the lessons from the textbooks was painfully slower than what I had expected. There's this guy on YouTube who walks through the textbook step by step, but even with the help, the progress being made was slower than before. And because of that, I was starting to have doubts about this challenge. It was at this point that I felt defeated because the whole point of getting the textbook was to learn, not to frustrate myself with the book. It's day 15 and I just spent 2 hours learning from the Genki textbook. Of course, I had help with the YouTube video, but the process is very, very slow. In 2 hours, I was only able to accomplish like 15 pages. 15. I'm halfway through this challenge and I don't know nearly enough Japanese in order to watch anime without any English subtitles. Starting to lose hope right here. I knew if I wanted to stay motivated, I needed to take action. I had to go to a place where Japanese is spoken on a daily. A place where they make anime. But most importantly, a place where I can find a sensei to teach me Japanese. Japan. So I packed everything I needed and headed over. But then that's when I realized I don't have a passport. So the second best option was the internet again. And that's when I came across this site called Japanese Pod 101, where it was a podcast format and it would be teaching me the basics I would need to hold the conversation. Hajimemashite. Watashi wa Armando desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. But I could only access it for 7 days before paying for a subscription. So I made it a habit that I watched and listened to the podcast before and during my breakfast. I know it's weird, but don't judge me. I did not want to pay for the subscription. So I tried to learn as much as I could in the span of 7 days. As the days of studying flew by, it was the day of the test. The rules of the test were pretty simple. 1, it was going to be an anime that I haven't watched for obvious reasons. 2, I was going to watch the anime in Japanese, and I could watch it in subtitles if I needed the extra help. 3, I was going to translate it line by line, and once I finished, I would watch it in English to see how much I understood. And when I finished, I would divide the lines that I got right over the total number of lines, giving me my overall score. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking. What anime are you gonna watch? Well, I decided to go with a most recent popular anime. And because there's so many, I decided that I needed help from the father of anime and my biological father, Gigak, aka Garnt.
Bang, 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 bang.
And because he does anime reviews every season, I decided to look at his most recent upload about summer 2022. So what I did was put all the animes of summer 2022 and put it in a big wheel. And from there, I was just going to let fate decide what my anime was going to be. Uh-oh. Hey! So with the anime now chosen, I began the long process of testing. It gave me flashbacks, not gonna lie. After what felt like ages, I finally finished the test, and now it was time for the results. So the results are in, and based on the rules of the test, I scored with a whopping 20%. Now I know some of you guys can learn Japanese in 30 days, but if you ask me, I'm just happy that I learned as much as I did. I learned so much more about Japanese than I ever did before starting this, so I'm glad I took this challenge. But to answer the question, can I watch anime without needing the English subtitles? Well, technically I can, it's just I wouldn't be able to understand more than half of it. But it doesn't discourage me, because I'm still going to continue to learn Japanese until one day I can go to Japan and communicate with the people there. Maybe, who knows, maybe one day kick it with the boys from the Trash Taste podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.